What's up, everybody? This is BakaBites. I'm Frankfurter, that is Magically Average, and today we are going over our Episode 1 reviews for the Fall 2025 anime season. Now, we've got a lot to get through, not a lot of time, because unfortunate for me, I had a mishap before this, and we are late to recording. So, we are going to zoom by, hopefully, a lot of these, and we're going to start with our bottom three, and there is one that I definitely have as my bottom, like, just totally just this is bad. Or I guess with our rubric, sorry to backtrack a little bit before we get into it, we do have a rubric of 1 through 10, 1 through 4 being fundamentally just bad shows with a varying degree, 5 being completely average, 6 being fine, 7 good, 8 great, 9 excellent, and then 10 is like perfect with maybe just like personal nitpicks, but other than that, like, it's a perfect show. So without further ado, we'll hop into it. My bottom show, bottom tier of the season is Inexpressive Kishiwada and Expressive Ota, which would be on Crunchyroll. I gave it a 5. I said it's very generic, but also has like all the pranks, quote unquote, that this expressive boy does to this very inexpressive girl to try and get a reaction out of her seemed very mean-spirited and very, like, nasty. Like, they're in middle school, so, like, yeah, that's at the time of age where kids are just, like, they can't really hold back, what they're saying. They don't really, think twice about it, but, like, she definitely has a crush on him, but he just takes it a bridge too far. It's just, like, she's trying to clean the pool and he's trying to like shoot her with water from a hose, and but like he says like the most just weird fucking out of pocket thing that just doesn't seem like it'd be like any sort of near like take it as a joke. It just seemed mean spirited. So like to me, I know it's supposed to be like middle schoolers, oh they're cute, whatever, they're pulling pranks on each other. It didn't feel good. It didn't feel like like it wasn't like a, other show where we've watched where it's the main character teasing the other main character. Like Nagitoro, like, yeah, that's mean spirited, but at the same time, like he puts up with it, slash not puts up with it, but like he can kind of clap back occasionally, but like he also puts her in awkward situations. This one is just completely one-sided, and I didn't like it.
Yeah, it's my second worst for the season that I watched. Um, I said basically the same things. The only thing that also threw me off was I have in my notes. Do these kids actually do anything in school other than fuck around? It's like one of the few anime that I've watched where it's in a classroom setting, and there's at no point are they doing anything class related. Like
Yeah, you're not wrong.
there's a sequence where uh Ota is getting yelled at by his teacher, like in different classrooms. But like that was it, and it was maybe a sequence that lasted like 30 seconds. Other than that, he's just being a total dick. They play Old Maid for like it seems like 5 minutes. I
The
thought it
very
was
beginning of the
yeah,
episode.
but I also gave it a
Yeah.
5 out of 10. I have it as my dropped. I thought it was just
Yeah.
mediocre through and through, and yeah, I wrote that the main character is annoying. Their backstory is also abysmal. Basically, like he's trying
Yeah.
to get her to be expressive because they both had a crow poop on them for opening ceremony, and she just didn't react. And he was like, "I'm gonna make you react by being a total dickhead." I'm just like,
Yeah.
that's horrible. That's atrocious. That's
I'm
just no brain.
I'm sure if there's any remote sense of character development, like, it'll get better, but I'm not willing to put in the time for it to get better
Yeah,
by any means necessary.
I'm in
So,
that same boat. I know people will be like, you got to give it more than just the first episode, but
no,
he Frank's got 22 first episodes that he watched.
23.
23. Sorry, 23. I have 17, technically 18 because I wasn't able to get to one of them. Like I'm not finishing all 18 from this season. So
Yeah, and
something's got to
I haven't even started My Hero Academia, and I haven't even started the season 2 of, fucking
Ranma.
Let Me Retire. No, I watched Rama.
Oh, okay.
Let These Grieving Souls Retire.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
So, yeah,
but,
no. That's a very quick drop.
yeah, agreed, 100%. You have one that you said you ranked even lower, so
Ye-
please enlighten me. What was worse than that?
Plus size misadventures in love.
That is my next show. It was
Yeah.
just a step above. I gave that one a 6, honestly.
I gave it a 4.5. I have a weird so I wrote a note that, like, I love the premise of the anime is a woman who is, I wouldn't I don't think it's inaccurate to say is obese, views herself as quite ugly as well. Like, the first sequence, you find like, she's in an ambulance, and you're like, "What's happening?" Come to find out she tried to commit suicide, and in doing so and having
No content warning,
yeah,
by
like,
the
just
way, at the very
which is
beginning, like
shocking in itself.
it's all like any other streaming service, like I think Hulu does it, I know
High
for sure
dive.
High Dive does it.
Yep.
Like, they have warnings of, like, content warnings, like, "Hey, what you're about to watch,
It's
maybe, turn around." But,
probably
like, Crunchyroll, nah, it's fine.
Crunchyroll's going through it right now too, with the fact that they have subtitle issues already. So I'm sure that sort of
I feel like
flew
they've
under the radar.
yeah, I feel like they've actually fixed the subtitles, it's just a matter of they haven't fixed the fact that they're using shitty fucking software that
Yeah,
nobody wants to support, but that's
yeah,
a debate for another episode.
that's another
Not
conversation.
debate, that's not even a debate, yeah, that's
No,
another conversation for another
but
time.
so you start off with that, and you're like, wow, and then what happens is she flatlines, comes back. She has retrograde amnesia, so kind of forgets who she is, who her parents are, almost like basically
Forgets
everything.
everything essentially except
Y-
for how to speak the language.
yeah, and in that, like, she becomes a new person. It's like she is a wholly different human being to the point where she has this newfound confidence. She like is very outgoing now, talks about how cute she is and stuff. And you're like, that's great. Like, it speaks to body positivity. It speaks to loving yourself, right? Because there was a whole sequence where her parents were like, we don't keep mirrors in the house because you break them all the time. Like, you were disgusted by your reflection. And it's like, that's a horrible thing. And it's a great, having this character now that's being more positive and a good kind of, I guess, person, not to idolize, but it's like a good symbol for body positivity is
Yeah.
great. Love that. My biggest issue with this though is that they still make her into like a caricature. And it's a frustrating thing with a lot of anime that like portray larger human beings is that they always make them just like not just slightly large. They make them like weirdly
It's like
shaped, like more cartoonish than anyone else. Like they
she
stick out like a sore thumb.
quite literally has a pig nose.
Yeah, like everything about it, you're just and like they make all of her body proportions just really, really. It's just
It's like
not in
when
good
Japanese
taste.
anime wants to make sure you know that the character is American, they do that to make sure that you know that this girl is big.
Yeah, it's just my. I think a good line that I wrote when I was taking notes on the episode was I said our main character is a caricature compared to other characters, which makes it feel disingenuous and quite frankly more rude than anything. Like
Yeah.
it's just
No.
I found that really really disgusting. Just how they portrayed her. Like I loved the message. I loved the setup. They also like tie in a weird mystery and some like immediate contention with characters, which I'm like it seems interesting, right? But I can't get
That's
I can't get past just how this character is being portrayed. But everything else
I
about her,
agree.
I adore. It's just to
Yeah.
me, I'm like no. That's why I gave it a 4.5. Like I wanted to give it a 5 just to say like it's not inherently good, it's not inherently bad, but like it's a fundamental thing that I found to be a huge flaw in this series that's an immediate just turn off. Like no, I'm not gonna see this person who's speaking like all these great things about themselves and like being more positive and like you know not giving a shit if people call her fat and ugly. She's like, I'm cute. I find myself adorable. Whether or not you want to step in my way, that's your problem. That makes I mean, if you can't see my cuteness, then you can buzz off. And I'm like, you go, girl. But then they show her in her scene where she literally looks like a walking pig, and you're like, why? Like, what the fuck? Why would you
Yeah.
do that? Like, that's so
Like, wow, you can
so
really put
mean.
it down as
Yeah.
she's eating with coworkers, and she's just like, "Oh, you're done
Oh,
eating? Yeah, I'll give it to me." I'm just like,
that
"What
scene
the
pissed
fuck,
me
dude?"
off where she's like steals some dude's croquette and he's like, that's mine. She's like, oh, if you weren't gonna eat it. And I'm like, they're like, she's eating 3 days worth of meals, and I'm like, stop, please.
Yeah.
Oh my
My notes
god.
for it were it was I mean, I gave it a 6, but yeah, I completely agree with your thoughts on how they depict her, but I have such a unique first episode. On one hand, you have a super bubbly big girl getting through her new life with amnesia. On the other, potential murder suspects, which are definitely in her office, hence her supervisor saying, "You survived?" So, like, yeah, like, it's just, like, one of those things that it's just like,
Are you
"Ooh,
still
I
living?
like this I like this weird, like, positivity, like, upbeatness to it, and then all of
Yeah.
a sudden just twisting to just, like, unless."
It's like it's a really I don't it's like your parents saying, you going, "I want an isekai," and your parents like, "We have isekai at home." It's not an isekai, but she sure as shit treats it
We
like
haven't
it.
we have an isekai at home, it's just Ed, Ed, and Eddy.
Yeah, but it like, but it's the fact that she becomes a new person, but she's still in her same skin. Like it's still her body. It's still
Yeah.
it's still her. But it's like it's a way for her to start over again in a
Yeah,
new
no,
life
I
because
agree.
she's learning everything from scratch. Yeah, it set it up well, but the
I'm
execution was so abysmal with her as a character. Like
I I agree. I'm dropping
ugh.
the show, however, I might do one more episode out of morbid curiosity
They're not
just for
gonna
the
get into
fact
that
that I wanna.
mystery.
No, I have a feeling like this show would be so quick into the sense that it would just be like, "Oh, your supervisor did it. We're gonna jail like he's going to jail, and then live the rest of your life as this
You're
positive
gonna
person."
you're gonna
But
watch you're gonna watch the
no,
next
I'm not.
episode, and
If I even get to it,
it's gonna throw you a curveball, and it's her supervisor, spoiler alert, loves bigger ladies.
maybe.
That's
I
what
don't
the
know.
twist is gonna be. And then it's gonna get they're gonna make more just grossly like rude and vulgar type representations of her, even though she's like super bubbly and cute about it. Which is just, my brain was like, God damn
Oh,
it!
I know. I get
You
it.
had it. You could have done so much better with it, but no, you had to ruin it with
Nope.
just how this character is depicted. It's like, just come on, whatever,
So moving on to the next one. My next 6 out of 10 show that I have is My Friend's Little Sister Has It In For Me.
bro. We are fucking synced to a
Oh,
T.
Jesus.
I love it.
Dude,
5.5
my
for
first
me.
note
Ugh.
my first note for this, I wanna knock this sister out. She's frustratingly annoying that I wish her brother would step in. Like, her brother's just nowhere ever to be seen outside
Well,
of the one classroom scene.
her brother, yeah, her brother. We get the sense that he's kind of a slack, just
Yeah.
goes with the wind type person, his the whole beginning scene where with them in the classroom, he's our main character's taking notes on his behalf and just like hands him a full notebook with a bunch of notes, and he's just like, "Thank you, I'll buy you a pudding because I know you like pudding." Like, and then the main character describes the annoying sister's brother as his best friend that he quote will ride or die with, and I'm like, that's a
Yeah.
horrible that we might need to let's roll that gotcha machine one more time because there's got to be a better. We're gonna get someone better than this one. There's like no
Yeah,
way.
it's abysmally bad, but my full notes for this outside of I wanna knock the sister out and that he should be there more often is, but to introduce another ripple at the end with another girl and allude to more women just makes like,
Ugh.
more women coming into the series just makes me think this is just gonna be another generic harem rom-com that I just, like, I as much as I love my trashy, just, like, shitty rom-com harem shows, like, fucking God, Masamune-kun
Oh
Revenge, like, this
Jesus.
is just not it. This is not it. This is
This
not anywhere remotely good trash. This is just bad.
I gave it a
Like, this is just a fine, like, generic crap.
I gave it a big maybe if I watch another episode, but
Oh, I'm dropping.
I would be lying if I told you that the ending did not make me very very scared.
Yeah,
Did
no,
we
I'm
did we say
dropping
we're
this
getting to a
immediately.
spoiler? I mean, it's first episodes. I guess is it like that
It's
big of a
first
spoiler?
episode. Like, don't
He
in my opinion, if you're like, "Oh, is this the rom-com for me?" No, it's not.
there's the implication of potential incest. Okay?
Yeah.
That is the like the moment that happened I'm like, nope. Nope. Which sucks because we get like this. We finally get to uncover a little bit more about our main character because he's this like hard driven, dedicated person to something we just don't know, and we find out like, oh, he made an indie game studio with 4 other people, and they made a game that now has 1 million copies, and his uncle runs a really famous video game developer or publishing company, and it's like, oh, okay, I see how everything's connecting, and we get to find out who these other mysterious people are that he works with because we only know one
They're all gonna
other.
be girls that are gonna be after him, I
Yeah,
guarantee
exactly.
you.
Exactly. And then but it's just, and I was like, "Man, you had something there, but then you had to introduce the just the
Cousin
ending." Yeah,
character.
the cousin, and I'm just like like it was already
Yep.
bad enough where I'm like, "Man, there's no part of me that wants to continue watching it." And then I got that one little sprinkle of like, it could be kind of good if I ignore all the shit parts, but then they drop this giant anvil of like cousin, and I'm like, "Nope, nope, nope. I'm okay." That's why I'm like big maybe if I even go to the next episode, but
Oh,
it's for
I'm
sure
already dropping.
it's a one more and done most likely. It would have to be a quite literally a miracle for them to turn this sinking ship around.
The only thing that can get me to watch more of this is if a dub comes out for it, but otherwise, I'm dropping the hell out of it.
Yeah.
Um, okay, since you and I have our same bottom 3 just in
Dude,
different orders, I'm gonna rattle off a few or just keep going through shows, and if you've
yeah, yeah.
watched it, you could stop me. Otherwise, yeah. Shabake?
Yes, I watched Shabake.
Okay, this is a 6.5 for me. I don't know how far up the
Whew.
list it is for you.
Oh boy. All right. Well,
Is that near the
the
top?
brain meld quickly ended. Yes.
Oh,
Yes, it
okay.
is.
Okay, my notes for this is a 6.5 out of 10. Unsure what the full potential of the show is since episode 1 is more or was more of a character introduction with no real trace of where a plot will begin or develop or go into the future. This will be a slow burn if I continue it, but like episode 1 just introduces just a bunch of characters with no real motivations, I feel like. And other than like the spirits protecting the like the young master.
We get
Like he what?
we get like 4 characters.
Yeah,
Four
we get
characters that
the
you actually care about.
you get the young master, the one spirit near the end, and then the 2 spirits that the
Yeah,
Shinigami?
that's
Yeah, whatever.
4.
Yeah, but, like, at the same time, great, they're character introductions, but, like, they don't have any like, outside of the spirits protecting him, like, there's no motivation to the show. There's no, like,
Right.
plot to it to, like, push any sort of, narrative.
So
And that's why
I
I was just like, "What the fuck is going on with this show?" I'll watch one more episode just out of morbid curiosity to see if it goes anywhere, but
I
right now, like, to me, it just went nowhere. It's just like, here's a bunch of characters, there's no actual plot, and here you go.
I gave it an 8.5 out of 10. So
Yeah, damn.
wildly different than you. Yeah.
Wildly
I
different.
so I know it's been a while. Think back to like the first episode of Apothecary Diaries.
Okay,
Can you really tell me what all happened other than she got kidnapped, put into the rear palace, and there's this
and found out.
potential setup, yeah, and got found out, right? But it's like, okay, what's the continuation here? What's your through
She's
line?
her through line is trying to get out of the backcourt, like, to just survive.
Okay. So then
We get that
here,
from episode 1.
yeah, but here the young master they set up very early on. He's super sick. He's the last boy in their family lineage, basically, because their mom can't conceive anymore, and they have to carry on the family. Otherwise, they have to adopt out, right? And the whole thing is like all these things, all these spirits, all they're trying to do is protect him. And he's like, "Fuck you! I'm going off and being a boy." And then lo and behold, uncovers a mystery. You don't need anything more than that. It's like, all right, now you get to see, okay,
But,
what are
like,
we
the
going to go
mystery
into?
wasn't even, like, anything there, like, they just
What do you
he
mean?
found a dead spoiler alerts, he finds a dead body, and it's
Yeah,
just
but
like,
what do you,
"Ah,"
yeah,
and then the
so,
episode ends, and it's like, there's no, like, "I'm gonna go look for the who killed this man."
but we
It's
don't
just
know who
like,
he is. He
"Ah."
could be someone that they know. But yeah, like, I understand your perspective. I get it. There's not
Yeah.
like it doesn't lay out clear as day. Here's what's going to happen in the following episodes. But at least you have an interesting premise with a world that is not albeit unique, but it's fun to actually have like spirits be directly involved. I said it's like put Apothecary Diaries mixed with Natsumi's friend Book of Friends, and you get this, but set in a even in an Edo or maybe even earlier period of Japan.
I
I
would
just
I would substitute Natsumi's Book of Friends with Noragami, but that's just my
Yeah,
opinion.
or you could do Noragami, or you could do fucking Even If You Slit My Mouth, which is a manga series, not an anime yet. But like regardless, like just the interactions with
Yeah.
different spirits and yokai and stuff. I thought it was at least interesting enough with a slight mystery element to it that I'm like, this could be good. I guess I'm also a fan of the anime set in this period too. I always find it to be something that's
That's yeah.
really attractive in terms of a series, but only if you could do something fun with it. Now, I I I will have a note in a lot of these series on like future predictions, which I feel like we failed to do at times. So I have
That's
this
fair.
as an 8.5. It is in a specific bracket where I fear that it has the biggest potential to move down. Like I don't think
Yeah.
it's ever going to get higher than 8.5, but I can certainly see it going much lower than an 8.5. Like I could finish the series and it could end at a 6.5, like you said. But
And I
I
think for
enjoyed the
me, like,
first episode.
I'm in the opposite boat. I think it starts at a 6.5 and I think it only has room to grow. I don't think we can get any worse than that first episode. So like I have it as another like watch one more episode just to see where it might potentially go because I do think that this is going to be the slow burn of the season that once you finally hit some sort of payoff, it's going to be wonderful. But
Yeah.
until then, it's just like the first episode left the viewer, and maybe others wanting more clarity as to
I mean,
what this show is going to be about, because unless which I did read, like, the synopsis afterwards, and it's just like, there was no knowing that that's what's gonna happen in the series unless if you read the synopsis beforehand,
and I didn't read the
period.
synopsis because, well, at least I don't remember it from when we reviewed it, but I kind of want to I'm glad I don't remember it, nor do I want to read it now because I like that mystery. Because there's another series that we'll talk about that, like, the synopsis clearly spells out like what's happening, but the first episode really
Yeah.
doesn't touch on it directly. And I should say too, like for this
Okay.
series, I did say it would have been nice to learn more about the characters, like their background and just like how they're able to interact. I know they pray to the Inari god, which is the fox god.
Mhm.
Um, and then obviously a little bit more about the setting itself, like where in the time period we're in. But like, it's it was enough to where I'm comfortable how it ended, knowing that there's plenty more to uncover later. It didn't leave
Fair
me
enough.
like with a just a pure in the dark, you know, fog of like I know literally jack shit, but apparently something happened.
That's fair. So we still have a shit ton to go through, so I'm gonna move us all right
Yeah, yeah.
along. I'm gonna talk about one you haven't watched because it's pertinent. It's a 7 out of 10 for me for the first episode. I have a bunch of sevens. So One Punch Man season 3. You didn't watch it. I just finished watching it. Oh shit. You know what? I really want to start with Spy Family first and then jump into One Punch Man.
Okay.
Spy Family is
Okay.
also another seven for me. I don't know if you watched episode
I
one or
gave it a
not.
7 as well.
So for me, it's more Spy Family, but it almost feels like the viewer never watched an episode before, which is really frustrating for me. Like
I
it really pissed me off that it treated everybody as if they'd never watched an episode before. It was character reintroductions, and just relationship reintroductions, and it just was like, why? If we're on season 3, by now we
I
should know who these characters are and what their motivations are, or, who they are fundamentally as a plot device, but, like, instead they treat you, like, disrespectfully and waste your time with episode 1.
I yeah, I said the same thing. I said it's same old, same old. It's not inherently bad, but it is a bit dissatisfying feeling like we haven't progressed whatsoever in this series.
I will say episode 2, much, much better, but that's
But
not this episode, so
yeah.
but yeah, no. Like, if
It's
I'm grading a season or the episode 1, it's a 7 just because it's, like, it's more Spy Family, I like Spy Family, but it felt like a kick in the shin that they treated the viewer like they'd never seen an episode before.
yeah. I
Now
mean,
now one punch no, yeah, no, I don't know if you want to
no,
expand
there's
more
not
on
much
that.
more. I yeah. It's it's unfortunate because we toted this in season 1 as being like the best new age anime to get people into anime,
Yeah,
and I feel like it's I don't want to say
not
it's
necessarily fallen from grace, but,
no, it
like
hasn't fallen from grades. It's like it almost feels like it's like become complacent knowing that like it's going to be popular no matter what, you know? Like there's just there's no substance behind it. Like there's no real like feeling of satisfaction like things are moving along. It feels like you're stuck in the mud and you're desperately just begging for it to go forward. Cuz like if you are watching this, I'm sure you're screaming like where's the end? Like the end is just not in sight, right?
yeah.
You get this great hook in the first season. You get a lot of like progression it feels like we're actually moving this train along. And at the time I had read through a good chunk of it, so I knew like all right, well we still got lots to go. But, like, I
Yep.
gave up reading it because 'cause I'm like, "I can't." Like, there's just there's no sense of this is ever going to end. It feels like it's just gonna drag along for as long as humanly can, and then it's gonna do a rushed type snap
I
conclusion.
I will say I disagree with you, just for the fact that I don't think it'll go on forever just for the fact that the author quite literally hates writing this series,
But
so,
it
like,
makes them
I don't
money.
it does. It does make them money, but, where they are at currently, like, I can totally see them tying this into an end game as to what they're doing
But I
currently in the manga. So, like, again, I don't like being current, I disagree with you, but at the
yeah.
same time, I understand your point of view.
D
But yeah, we need to move this along, buddy. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine.
We could
Go,
talk
go.
forever about it. One Punch Man season 3, on the other hand, it does the complete opposite. It's more One Punch Man. However, unlike Spy Family, it doesn't treat your time with which doesn't treat your time with respect. It just flat out picks up where season 2 ends, which,
Good.
by the way, it's been 6 years since One Punch Man season 2 came out. I don't know if you know everything that happened or remember everything that happened in season 2, because I sure shit don't, and I watched it like 2 years ago or 3 years ago. It literally picks up right where it left off. There's no recap, there's no reintroductions, there is nothing. It just jumps straight into
Excellent.
season 3, which for those of you diehard fans who've read it, know the series inside out, great. For me, fucking I'm kinda, like, trying to pick up the pieces as to what the fuck is going on. Um, but also, like, there is a bunch of discourse going on right now about this show and how shitty the animation was in episode 1, and Imma be honest with you, it's not as bad as other shows that are on this list or things that I watched so far this season. But also, there was no major fight scene. There was no fight scene really at all. So, like, I don't understand where they wanted the animation quality to be. Like, there
Mm.
was maybe one shot of somebody getting like whipped with like a thorn whip. And it was kind of like one of those like action pan, like screensaver shots. But like outside of that, I don't know where else you really wanted, like, the animation quality to be there because there was nothing to really show off. The comedy bits were funny because they do the random, like, different art style to show off the comedy, but, like, outside of that, like, I don't know what people are complaining about, honestly. Now, if they did this like Blue Lock season 2 where it's just like a fight scene or an action scene is lazy, then yeah, by all means, criticize it. But for now, there's nothing really wrong here. It's more just One Punch Man. So for me, it was a 7 just because it's like was playing mental gymnastics trying to figure out where the fuck season 2 ended, who's who, and names to faces I haven't seen in years. So yeah, it was good. All right, more that you may or may not have seen. I know for sure shit you did not watch My Status as an Assassin obviously exceeds the heroes.
No.
Lovely. I'll talk about that real quick. It's an isekai. I'm watching the first 3 episodes. I'll probably watch the full show, because it is getting a simuldub, which is really wild. But yeah, my notes for it is a lot to unpack here. On the one hand, I think the isekai part is generic but good since there are nefarious reasons for summoning everyone. They summon a whole classroom. It's not just one person. Um, sorry, I'm picking up where my notes were. The presentation was good, but it felt slightly off for like some reason. Like parts of it felt like, is this AI or not? Like I can't really tell because like the mouth movements were like in some scenes very meticulous and they were going beat for beat with what they were like saying, and then other scenes where it was just
And
like up and down, just like out of sync with the like the dub and sub and all that. It was really really weird. So, like, it felt really odd at times, but the art style to it was really cool, and it kinda reminded me like an old school, like, '90s anime or JRPG even, like, where the cutscenes are kinda just like the hair is kinda not particly, but, like, very, like, fine lines, but
mhm,
chunky at the same time.
yeah,
Like, it felt very '90s. Um, but again, it felt off, but yeah, it's a 7 out of 10. I think the plot here was better than I thought it would be because they introduced really quickly, like, "Hey, you're here to kill the demon lord," but at the same time, it's like, "No, there's something more going on behind the scenes. What the fuck is going on?" And I do wanna find out. So, that'll be 3 more for me. Other 7 out of 10s, did you get to Mechanical Marie?
no,
Okay. Real quick, this is a borderline 7.5 out of 10 rather than 7. The show is fun and has a good twist to make the rom-com genre unique. Characters are written fine and the comedy is hit and miss, but it did get a few chuckles out of me. I'll be watching one more episode to see if there's anything more here, but like episode 1 was fine. Like it was good. It was a good rom-com show with a very funny twist to make it interesting. If you don't know anything about the show, dude is inheriting his dad's company who basically like just think as if he's inheriting Amazon essentially in like olden times. Not necessarily olden times, they have cars. Never mind. What am I talking about? He's basically inheriting like Amazon essentially and like everybody is out to kill him because he's an illegitimate son of this, tycoon, including his like stepbrother or half brother, and it's really weird. So the only thing he really trusts are robots because robots can't lie. So his butler, personal assistant hires a maid who says, "Oh, it's a robot maid," but it's really just this professional wrestler teenager who cannot show emotion on her face, so like she fits the bill. It's stupid, it's funny.
but
I'll watch one more episode.
doesn't the kid have an attraction to inanimate objects?
No,
We
like
read no, we read that in the synopsis.
no, we did. It's not really like he's attracted to it, it's more he only trusts
Okay,
inanimate objects rather than, like, he's attracted to it. But by the end of episode 1, you find out that, like, yeah, she does kinda have a crush on him because she gets to see both sides of, like, him being very serious businessman, "My life is in danger," and then also just, like, "I'm just a teenager and I just wanna put my head in your lap because I wanna feel, like, loved, etcetera," type
yeah,
deal. Like, it's very cute. And then, yeah, he's also like, "Oh, if this was a real human, I would love her, but it's a robot. I can't love robots. So you can't do that." So yeah. No, I enjoyed it. I'm gonna watch another episode to see if there's more substance there or not, but I'll probably end up dropping it. Okay, we gone through that. 2 more 7s on my list. Did you get through Alma-chan Wants to Be a Family?
I did.
Cool. Notes for this are really short and sweet and to the point. Cute dysfunctional comedy slash slice of life. We'll watch another episode to see if this has anything more to offer. I'm probably eventually going to drop it unless it gets a dub, to be completely honest. Like, it was fine. Like, it was good. I shouldn't say fine because one of our literal definitions of a show is fine. It was good, but it wasn't, great. It wasn't
But
like I need to watch this week in, week out.
yeah, I gave it a 6.5 because I thought it was just above a fine, but not at the point of a good. It's like it didn't give any sense of progression, albeit the opening does do its classic anime opening thing, which is spoil what is up ahead. So we know there's like
Yeah.
more robot kids and more mad scientists to come about,
Oh,
but
you're
it's
talking about the intro song. Yeah.
yeah, like So like the first episode you get the sense of there's not really much there other than this girl is just going to go through her new life as a child with these parents that act like they're in middle school when it comes to talking about love and other mature things,
Yeah.
because they're the most immature people, and you're like, wow, wonder where this is gonna go. But then oh, they're gonna meet a bunch of other people, and it's gonna be chaotic. It's giving oh god, the ninja and assassin anime that I watched like 2 seasons ago.
Oh, in a the assassin neat or whatever.
No, 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 not
No,
that one.
one
It's the
room one room
no,
assassin
no,
whatever.
no.
It's on Crunchyroll. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
I just don't remember the
they're
title of it.
like they're just the ninja from a village comes and whatever. Like it's kind of gives the sense of that where it's like you know what's gonna happen. You already
A
get
ninja
introduced.
and an assassin under one roof.
Thank you. Yeah. Uh, I got a sense of that when I was watching this, and I was like, the other one was fun enough. I think I gave it probably a 6.5 or a 7 at the end. So, but I said I was gonna give it the old college try, maybe do 2 more episodes at most, just to see how it gets.
Yeah. I'll give it one more, but I'll probably drop it. The last 7 out of 10 that I have, you may have watched it, I'm not sure. Little Miss Vampire Can't Suck Right.
Yep, I gave it a 7.5.
Fair enough. My notes for it are very short and sweet and to the point. Cute character design with a funny gag, but unsure if this will be generic romance or blossom into something better. I really enjoyed my time with this first episode. I think that the character design was very funny in the sense that they took a background character and made him the main character, and then they have like the cool dysfunctional vampire main character as well that coincides with him. So
The
yeah, no, I really enjoyed episode one. I put it down for a 3 episode, and I'm looking forward to it.
Can't remember the series name. It's just Wants to Be Invisible. It's the only thing I can remember.
Kubo wants to be invisible.
Yeah, Kubo-san Wants to Be Invisible. It gives that immediately with our main character, and I like that because you don't get a lot of I guess, main
It
character, but like I would say secondary. But like with the all the characteristics of a background, like forgettable one. I like that.
yeah
But no, I enjoyed it. I think it's gonna be a really fun rom com. I definitely gonna watch more of it just because I want to know more about this whole world of like monsters are just there and there's a god that's
yeah
protecting everyone. I'm like, what? Okay, like we're just gonna gloss over that one, huh? All right. So
agreed.
this is one where I like the little quirkiness to it with it being about a vampire and stuff. And oh, she doesn't know how to suck blood correctly. What could happen with this
It just
budding
ends up just
friendship?
like biting the
Yeah,
shit out of this guy's arm.
almost killing him. Yeah. No, I liked
Yeah,
it.
it was really funny.
This is a full watch for me, I bet. Just because it seems like a cute rom com.
Fair enough. I am through all my 7 out of 10s. What about you?
I have one more 6.5 to even get
Oh,
to.
fuck. Okay.
Yeah. Backwater Dungeon was a 6.5.
Oh, come on, you prude.
It's not a prude. I said it's, and I know you've read it. I know you really like it, and I know a lot of people
Yeah.
like it too. My whole thing was it was like this takes overpower to an extreme and wild level. Like they
Mhm.
made it make sense. I get it. They like the premise is interesting enough. The world is really intriguing in that there's these 9 races and like humans are basically the bottom of the bottom tier. Like it's a weird dynamic that we don't normally see. So it has elements of it being a very fun fantasy, exploration type series. I like it. But just it's it's like this dude I wrote, what did I write? It says uh basically the MC has the ability to have unlimited funds to just roll gotcha as if they're playing like Honkai Star Rail and just going for like the most craziest of builds because money doesn't matter anymore. It's like
Yeah.
that is literally I mean, I guess the other frustrating thing about 2, which is why I gave it a 6.5, is that they like really fly through this whole like, what's your gift? Oh, you could be a maestro. And I'm like, what is a gift? No one else has a gift, apparently. Are gifts important? Is being a maestro that crazy? Like, what is the point of this? Like, why can you give me just a little bit more? All I got were every race is like hates humans, and there's a big disparity in terms of like how humans are treated versus how every other of the 8 races are treated. And apparently this kid has a gift to just roll for unlimited gotcha depending on the mana flow of an area. And I'm like,
Yep.
okay. Like this is in that, again, kind of going back to a previous thing I was mentioning. This is in that bracket of like I'm gonna continue it, and it can only go up. Like I don't foresee it going lower than a 6.5. Cause like we're gonna get through the
So
stupid bullshit of like this kid's gonna have a ridiculous party. Cause I've already you see the title screen. You know how many people he's gonna have in his party. They're all gonna be
no, you
stupidly.
don't.
I
You
can only
don't.
imagine how there's gonna be more. Just it's
This show is so bizarrely just okay. So I gave it a 7.5. Like I'm gonna score it accordingly. Like it's
yeah.
not great by any means. It is a good show. My notes here are pretty short. Really good setup episode to an otherwise bizarre titled show. Minor spoilers for episode 2. Episode 1 was not very fan service heavy, which was fine. The rest of the season from here on out, it's gonna be a lot more fan service, but at
Oh
least
joy.
I believe majority of everybody, if not everybody, is an adult in this show.
Not our main character.
Not our main
For
character,
sure
but
not our
everybody
main
else.
character.
Everybody else. So yeah, no,
How do you
like
know? How do you know? A woman popped out of a card and she's like, "I'm level 9,999. I'm an ultra rare SR rare card." Literally just it's like if all your little Uma Musume horses popped out of your phone and were like, "Bah, I'm here in real life." Yeah, like how do you know? I again,
yeah, that's fair. But yeah, no, like if you are like, "Oh, yeah, I wanna watch more of this. This was like a fun, overpowered isekai show," just know there's gonna be a lot more fan service going forward.
cool. I didn't
So
know that,
there's
so great.
it's
Can't
on High
wait.
Dive for a reason, buddy.
I
Yeah, we've also not been going through what we've been watching and where to find it. Everything we've talked about outside of Backstabbed is on Crunchyroll, except for One Punch Man, which is on Hulu.
yeah.
So, there you go. Cool. Any other 7s for me?
Yeah, a
Or
lot.
lower?
A lot, because you didn't ask. You were like, what we didn't go back and forth. You're just like, I'm gonna roll through mine because you're a pleb and didn't watch as much as I did. Uh 7, I have a mangaka's weirdly wonderful workplace. Um
I got that as a 7.5.
I
Yeah.
said sprouting girl love series, just a quirky MC with an aloof boss. Who knows? But it was a fun first episode. The premise is enjoyable. I love all the characters. I said it could run dry quickly if these gags continue, if it's just like purely like I'm not going to make my timeline and oh, I have to talk to my boss again. What's going to happen?
Yeah.
But like it was fun. I enjoy it. I like all the workplace slice of life rom-com series. So this is another one, albeit in a weirdly different setting because it's just our mangaka and her background artist in like an apartment, and then
Yeah,
the editor at like an actual building. But it has the makings of what could be a good work life,
agreed.
rom-com. But
Yeah, I gave it a 7.5. Funny comedy about a bunch of different types of anxious people with one level-headed assistant. That's
yeah,
my notes on it. Like,
that's
it's
that's
basically what it is, and it's funny. I like, out of all the different comedies that we've already talked about, this one was probably the best comedy. Um, so yeah, no, there's not much more to say. I'm gonna give it
yeah,
3
that's fair.
episodes and see how it goes from there.
Yeah, that was my last 7. The rest are 7.5s and above.
Cool. I've got 7.5s and above as well. So let's start with Let's Play. I assume that is on your
Seven and a
list. Is it
half.
at a lovely? Um, my notes were good start to a new rom-com slash reverse harem series. Art had the same stylistic viewing of being AI, but I didn't see anything in the credits referencing it as such. Might need to do a little bit more research there. I also went back to read a good chunk of like the first part of the season because
Mhm.
like I've read a good chunk of it before, and they take things like way out of order here. Like like they did this very differently because in this show, very early on, she has the moment to try and confront her new neighbor about what he did in his latest YouTube video or ViewTube video, and doesn't say shit. But in the manga or the webtoon series, whatever, she does. She immediately confronts him about it,
So
and like that is a contention point right from the beginning.
I so I mean, similar notes. My thing that I pointed out though was that I wanted to know a little bit more in the first episode. Like they focused heavily on the love interest setups than anything
Yeah.
else because there was like three. They went like bam, 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 like kind
Yeah,
of back
which
to back to back.
the supervisor one doesn't happen until a little bit later in this, like, it's
It
not even in the first few chapters, like,
that
it's kinda like, "Whoa, you took these events way out of order."
This is I think, like and it seems like it was purposeful, right? Like, they wanna really set the
Yeah.
stage early of, like, here are the 3 potential love interests all at, the forefront so you know exactly what you're getting into with these the dynamics between these different characters, right? And, like, I
Yep.
can appreciate that, but they definitely, they've just sped run it. It was like a speed dating just in an episode. Because you were like, boom,
Yeah.
first guy. All right, that move on to the next guy. Boom, second guy. Okay, fun interaction. Next guy. Okay, really quick interaction. And oh my, he's my neighbor too. Like, I don't know. I would have liked a little bit more setup, but I get why they did it in this manner. It's probably more of my nitpick than anything. But knowing that it was taken out of order, I guess plays a bit more into that because it did feel like it was a very purposeful decision for them to go, we're shoving all three in the first episode. That way we can just move things along and not have to spend time like setting
Yeah, like,
setting it up later.
the only thing that really does happen that would have happened in episode 1 that does kinda coincide with the manga is the coffee guy, like, that's it.
Yeah.
The other 2, like, aren't like, they are one confrontation is much later, and then the other confrontation happens immediately, and it doesn't happen in the anime, so it's just kinda like, "This is really weird, but I'll continue." Um, okay, give me another one of your 7.5s.
Ranma one half.
Okay, that's an 8 for me, but
Yeah.
that's fine. I just said a fun return to the series with a good flavor of the week episode. Like, I
I,
really thoroughly enjoyed this series, and I think that this is just another good continuation episode.
I think I gave the first season a 7 overall. Like it
That's
wasn't
fine.
anything impressive. I said it's a continuation. It's another one episode arc type thing. I would say my biggest problem and what almost made me bump it down to just a pure 7 was I hated that it seemed like the relationship between Ranma and Akane regressed after the ending of season 1, which is frustrating. Cuz like
Mm,
they definitely stepped into this episode as if not like there was no gap. Like it was just a pure continuation, but
yeah.
it seemed like everything that had evolved in their relationship and what we were moving towards was just like wiped clean, and it went back to almost like halfway through season 1 where they still just like didn't like each other, wouldn't talk to each other. I was just like, ugh, like it's stupid.
Yeah. No, that's a fair criticism. Also real quick, Ranma's on Netflix, everything else we talked about so far, again, Crunchyroll. Um, Speaking of other sites to watch things on, my next 7.5, Wandance or Wandance,
Oh, I
whatever,
didn't get
however you want to
around to
pronounce
that
it.
one. Damn it, it was on my
So
list.
it's on Hulu. It's a 7.5 for me. My notes here were holy CGI.
Oh,
The move, like, they use a lot of CGI for the dance portions. I will say the movement is nice and technical, but the facial expressions on the bodies, the facial expressions are so devoid of emotions that it really comes off as creepy. Also, they make a Scatman reference. What in the ever living like, the
oh,
guy has
I
like,
saw a clip of it.
yeah, so the guy has, like, a stutter to him, like, the main character. So, like, he, like, really appreciates, like, Scatman in the sense that he stutters in all his songs, but, like, he uses it as a strength for
Yeah.
himself. So, like, it was like I was just really taken aback. I was like, "This is phenomenal. This is actually a very good reference," and I enjoyed the fact that it was in there. But yeah, I said the lad has 0 the poor lad has 0 dancing skills, but he's gonna give it his all by all means. So, I'm gonna give it 3 episodes total, see how it is, and if I like it, I'll continue. So yeah, then if you did not watch that, we've got 2 more 7.5s on my list. I'm not sure how many more you have on yours. Just
Un
1? What's your 1? And then I'll go into
touring
mine.
after the apocalypse.
I gave it an 8. Okay, let's talk about it.
Yeah. I said very cute, but very unsettling start to a season. I said, title obviously gives it away. It gives I when I was watching it, at least, like, Train to the End of the World, but obviously not as chaotic or random as that series, but just how it, like, kind of pumps you right in with little to no backstory for the most part.
Yeah.
Like, you get more, honestly, in Train to the End of the World than Touring After the Apocalypse. Um, but, you know, it was fun. I imagine this, though, being very much akin to the series that I can never keep remembering where she just,
Yeah.
tours around to
So
different cities, right? It's I can see it getting old. I can also see it being, just a fun kind of exploration around Japan, seeing these different areas that a lot of people probably have not heard of because they just focus on, like, Tokyo, Kyoto, Osaka. Like, it's a cool premise. I do wanna know more about what happened. They set up, like, the 2 characters, one following her older sister and her adventures and kinda going to those locations that she posted about, the other being a potential cyborg.
she is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
100% is.
yeah, I mean, she is a cyborg, but we don't know, like, where she came
To what
from.
extent?
Yeah, like, what happened,
That's fair.
there's a lot of mystery. We also don't know how long into the future it was. Obviously, it couldn't be that long because the younger sister hasn't aged a lot compared to her memories with her older sister, but who knows? There's, like, a lot more to
Yeah.
unpack. I just don't know if that's gonna be enough to make me, like, wanna finish it, but I am interested enough to continue along for now.
Fair enough.
And that's on Crunchyroll,
My notes.
before I forget.
Yep. I gave this an 8 out of 10. I said to call this a lighthearted girls' last tour wouldn't be incorrect, but it does give the main characters a bit more of a personality right off the rip.
Mhm.
It's colorful, fun, and a sense of adventure oozes from the first episode. Like, there's a lot to like about the show, despite the fact that you pointed out in a scene where concrete blows up and has a weird kind of moment.
They
Um,
so, to
and a tank just quite literally disappears and then reappears in the next
it
scene.
yeah, so I would be I'd be a liar if I didn't say I rewound it a couple of times and laughed and took a screenshot of it because it was so crazy. It's like they took a GIF of, like, concrete getting, like, crumbled up and then, like, dropped back down, and they put it over top of an explosion to, like, simulate basically the road getting dented and then, like,
Caved
crumbling
in.
apart,
Yeah.
right? But like, it was clearly, if you zoom in, real life stock footage of that, like, not animated, and it was very,
It
very
was
goofy.
but they do I do like the fact that there's a couple times in the show that they use, like, the stylistic of taking a photo and then kinda just
Yeah,
drawing over it. I
there's
do
nothing wrong
really
with it. Like, that's what they do in Mud
no.
Dev
Yeah.
all the time.
Yeah,
Like,
and I think that's a wonderful thing. Like, I love that
mm,
type of that arts I for the most part, I do. For the most part, I do.
I remember you complaining about it in the first season of My Dress Up Darling. I remember you
I
saying it was
wasn't used
very,
to it.
very weird.
I wasn't used to it. I really enjoy it now, okay?
Yeah.
I can go back.
Just like butt
I
stuff,
can
not
grow.
used to it, but you're really good you like it now.
I'm really good at it. Is
Yeah,
that what
you're
you're
really
about
good
to
at it
say?
too. Yeah. That's why we were experiencing technical difficulties earlier.
Oh god, yeah, different type of butt stuff. Anyways, speaking of butt stuff, next one up I have that is a 7.5, Pass Their Monster Meat Milady.
Did not
I don't
get
know
to
if you
that
got to
one.
this
Oh,
one.
how is that
Okay,
real I'm more intrigued as to how you're gonna tie this into butt stuff. Continue, sir.
um, so I guess one I really didn't have a tie to it, but, like, I ate something and something came out of my ass real bad today, okay?
Was
That's
it
the butt stuff
is
there.
it monster
This
meat?
this show yeah, I mean, technically, if you count a chicken, sure.
Oh.
Um, but yeah, no, my notes for this is a good first episode with a good twist on a rom-com because again, generic rom-coms, I mean, for me, like just like there's got to be some sort of twist and hook. Like it has to have a good hook for it to like actually work nowadays. With the exception really being Fragrant Flower, I feel like because again, it is vanilla, but it does it damn good. Regardless, neither here nor there. Pass the monster meat milady. Good hook, good twist for a rom-com. The outcasts, which are the 2 main characters who are falling in love with each other, aren't very outcast feeling, but, like, technically they are because they are of, like, nobility/higher status.
Mhm.
So, like, one person, the girl who loves to eat monsters, which in nobility life, like, is "Oh my god, you don't do that. No, that's disgusting." And she earns, like, nicknames of just, like, being, like, this monster of a person, and then this guy who is basically loves fighting and loves killing monsters, essentially, is just, like, known as, like, this bloody battle veteran type
What
guy,
what a
despite the fact
duo.
that despite the fact that they're 17 years old or whatever. But, like, yeah, despite the fact that they don't really feel like outcasts outside of the fact that they are from nobility, so, yeah, from that perspective, sure. Okay, but they don't really, yeah. It was good, it wasn't great, it was somewhere in between, so I gave it a 7.5. I'll give it 3 more episodes to see if it gets, better, if they'll, like, God forbid that they actually do a romance show within the first 3 episodes, they tell each other, "I love you," or, start
Hell no.
dating. I we'll see. But yeah,
Hell no.
my last 7.5, if you haven't brought it up now, I doubt you'd bring it up later. Maybe I could see this being an 8 in your book. My Awkward Senpai.
No, I didn't get to that one.
Okay. I'm giving it one more episode, but I did give it a 7.5. I said presentation's a 50-50, however, it is better than I expected. It's basically what if one of those Comey can't communicate or various other anxiety-riddled main characters from high school becomes a capable adult and now needs to train a newbie. I'm gonna watch more to see if like it progresses a bit, but yeah, basically this girl really doesn't communicate well. She's very curt and very short with what she says, but she thinks she's doing a good job because she doesn't do well with communicating with people. And like she now has to train a newbie, and the newbie kind of sees and understands, like, because they have to spend a day together.
Mhm.
He sees that like she's trying, and she like, he picks up her notebook and sees like the notes in there of like self positive, be like, be open with your communication, ask people to lunch, or do like all these little notes, and he understands like she is not this way on purpose, she's trying her hardest. And so like I think it's really cute, it's fun. I'm definitely going to give it one more episode to see if it continues that trend, and I feel like this is gonna be the, "'Tis Time for Torture Princess" show of the season for me. I feel like this is gonna be the one that I kinda fall in love with for whatever reason, and just continue watching it episode by episode, saying like, almost like The Princess Bride with the fucking pirate guy being like, "I'll kill you tomorrow." It's like, "I'll drop you tomorrow.
Yeah,
Next episode, I'll drop you." Like, this is that show for me. I feel like it's gonna be endearing, and, yeah, I really enjoyed the first episode. All right. I've got a total of 5 more shows.
same
Where are you
here.
at?
We're at 5 left.
Lovely. You go first, good sir.
In my 8s, I have 2. I'll
I've
talk
got
about
3 left.
I was like, I have one that I know is probably up based on your previous comments, but, one of my 8s is Tojima Wants to Be a Kamen Rider.
Yep, that's an 8 for me. That is, oh my
Absolutely
god.
loved that
I
Notes are
phenomenal.
notes are instantly in love. The level of goofiness is perfectly matched with the action and fighting throughout the first episode. A quick backstory gives more context, which was excellent. Not to mention a fantastic art style for this type of anime. It's on a full watch list. Like I went in there were like knowing very little, right? You just like he wants to be a common writer. I've seen a couple of clips because people are already like hyped about it since the first episode dropped, and then there's been more clips since the second episode, so I got a little bit of like a taste of like what's to come, and I'm like, oh great. Uh but no, this was wonderful. It gives I I know you're gonna hate me for saying this, but it gives like adult Chunabuyo where it's like you just can't get rid of that side of you, right? Like you can't get rid of your love and adoration towards this fantasy
Serious.
superhero type. Yeah, like it becomes so imprinted upon you that like when he finally gets his moment to just scream out, "I am Kamen Rider," you're just like, "Fuck yeah, you 40-year-old dude. You
Yeah, you are.
be Kamen Rider. Go, my man." I really liked it. Not to mention we get introduced to another character at the end and I'm like, "Uh-oh, this will
Yep.
be fun." Two
So,
weird
yeah.
otaku type people that are super strong potentially
Oh,
joining
boy.
forces. This could be a blast.
I honestly don't think they're gonna join forces. I think they're gonna butt heads,
So
but we'll see.
I saw a clip and I already know what kind of happens, but
Oh,
My hope
well,
is that
okay.
the hope is when you get introduced to them and they're dressed up like like another hero, which I
Mhm.
think they are, um, that, oh, maybe they'll like tag team together. Plus, we saw the title card and read a little bit more about it, and I mean, I don't know. I remember who was on it to a degree. So, I think we're going to get slowly introduced to more characters and get to know a little bit more about the uh
Yeah.
crime syndicates.
Yeah. My notes for the show are fucking unhinged. Generational trauma leads to generational strength. What the hell hasn't this guy gone through in life? Because like they allude to the fact that he goes to this like festival. And they allude to the fact that his dad gives like as a kid gives him 4 grand or 4,000 yen and just fucking abandons him.
Yeah.
Just straight up just leaves him and it's just like this poor kid has gone through fucking everything. Like what hasn't he gone through?
Yeah.
I said the show is wild in all the best possible ways. I can't wait for this to get an unhinged dub because holy shit, if Ian Sinclair isn't the main character, oh my god, this is his role. This is his role of a lifetime, other than the fact that he is Brook from fucking One Piece.
I
But
I
like
feel like I feel like it's going to be
this has
Sony.
Ian Sinclair written all the fuck over it. It
No,
really does.
it's going to be
Yes.
like, is it Sunny?
It's not gonna be him.
Sunny Straight,
But like
I think.
maybe, but, like, it doesn't yeah, I agree, it's probably they're not gonna get Ian Sinclair, but if this does get a dub, that is my, like, wonder pick. That is my, like, all-time please for the love of God, let him do this because it will be unhinged and fucking hilarious if
I
he is.
I also want to point out that this is like one of the few anime where the age of the character matches what they like their look. Like how like you look at that character,
Yeah,
you're like, yeah, probably like late 30s or like early 40s, and he says like I'm 40. You're like, all right, cool. Like that
yep.
character would be they like in any other anime would be like I'm 65. And you're like,
No,
no,
he would probably no, he would look like that, and he would be like, "Yes, I'm 24 years old," and you'd be
yeah,
like, "What
that's
the
right.
fuck happened to him?"
It goes in one wild direction or another where you're just like, I'm ancient.
Yeah,
I'm 22 years old. And you're like, fuck you.
"I'm a man, I'm 40."
Yeah. Yeah. But no,
Uh,
I instantly fell in love. I'm definitely going to be
Agreed.
watching the full extent of this.
100%. The rest of the shows on this list will be full.
Yeah. Yep. Um,
The I've got 4 more. I think this one I don't know if you watched it, so I'm gonna talk about it. Dusk Beyond the End of the World
no,
on
I
High
watched
Dive.
it.
Did you watch episode 0 and 1?
I did.
Perfect. You and I have a lot to talk about. I loved it. I
Y-
loved this. Like, I gave it an 8 out of 10.
This
I
was
am
my number
very
3 for this season so far.
okay. This is also probably my number 3. I just figured that the last show that's an 8 out of 10 is higher on your list, and I don't wanna talk about it right now.
Mm.
Um, yeah. So Dusk Beyond the End of the World is an isekai show on High Dive. Basically, episode 0 sets up the main character and the plight he kind of goes through, while episode 1 is like, here's the isekai.
Is it
What?
isekai? I don't think it's isekai.
Yeah.
Is it tech?
It's technically in the isekai genre because he's reborn. Dude,
Uh,
homeboy straight up dies and is put in a
no,
fucking
I
medical vent and then just
I
like brought back to life.
I get that, but it's not like we should
He
clarify for
wakes up
people.
in another world
It's still, but
essentially.
it's still him. It's not like isekai in the sense of like I died and now I'm reborn as a baby, or like I died and now I'm
Yeah.
like an 80-year-old wizard. Like it's like he quote unquote perishes, but then is revived some odd
Through
years
the
later.
power of technology.
We don't know. Um, no, I absolutely loved this. I mean, we'll do a combination and say just a whole episode, like an elongated first episode, okay, like 50-minute first episode, episode 0, episode 1. I loved it. It also, you can't do this for every series. I get that, but for something like this, I actually appreciate that they do spend the time to give a backstory and then like set into the new like the actual series, because I felt like it gave a lot more depth to everything rather than just kind of pumping it right in with like a very quick flashback. So appreciated that. But my notes were wonderful backstory, distract us with a love interest, tear it away with a traumatic event, and cap it all off with an absolutely insane conflict. I was like, the world, current cast of characters, and the strife that's been established during this period had me hook, line, and sinker. Absolutely love the art style too. It's got this like weird, soft, late 80s, early 90s type polish to it, if you know what I mean. Like it's like the line work in the
Kind of.
faces. It's a lot of it is like if you look at the line work in the faces, it just gives a really like it gives a sense of like old nostalgic type anime series that I really appreciated. It was just something that stuck out to me. But no, I am absolutely 100% on board with this. I love how they're capturing something that is, at the top of everyone's minds these days. You've mentioned it numerous times on this podcast alone, which is artificial intelligence. Like it's got a good little backstory twist in with that. You've got, characters that have actual like that are grounded, and have
Mhm.
an actual sense of awareness
Like
about them,
u-
thankfully.
usually isekai are just like overpowered like power fantasy slop. So this is like grounded. This dude is just a dude, but he's
He
got a good backstory and well, yeah, he's a dude with a he's pretty fucking smart. But
Yeah. But
outside
we
of that, like, he is just a dude. He doesn't, do taekwondo or some bullshit or just, like, is, like, the savant of guns. Like, he's just a guy
but we
who's
do
pretty above average smart.
we meet a character that is borderline godlike at the
Yes, but
end.
I'm talking about the
Yeah,
main
I
character, main whole guy that we are following. He
yes,
is
yes, yes.
just a dude.
Yeah, but no,
So,
I really I don't want to give a lot more away about this because
yeah.
it's kind of not to the same extent because I know people will bitch and moan, you specifically, if I make the comparison, but it does give like a really good like start to a series in the similar vein to like Oshinoko, where
Okay.
you get a wonderful backstory with a traumatic event that like springs you into the actual series itself, right? It's like a red herring misdirection type opening sequence, but it's purposeful. It has, it gives a lot of sense to the characters and who they are, so you get a lot more about you, like more about them going into the actual like series as a whole. Um,
Yeah,
but
I
yeah, I
really hate social media sometimes because I fucking like immediately like I didn't know it was this show until like the end. I was like, "Oh, this was a good clip. What show was this?" Saw the title, was like, "Fuck."
fuck.
It was the ending of episode 0. I was like, "God
Oh,
damn it."
I think I saw that clip too, but I
I
erased
was
it
just
from
like,
my
"God
brain.
damn it." I didn't. I was like, "I know what happens. I know how this ends, but fuck, man."
Yeah,
Like, it still hit, it was still good, but at the same time, it's like, fuck social media sometimes and you bastards for posting goddamn spoilers for shows that just come out.
it's what you get. It's the easiest
I
way to
know.
get clicks, man. Clickbait.
Anyways, moving on. We've got 3 more shows. That would be also my number 3 for the season. But again, there's one show on here that I know is in your top 2 probably. So I'm not gonna go it. What's your number 4 then?
Well, I know my number 4 is probably your 1 or 2.
What is that?
May I ask for one final thing?
That's my number 1.
Yeah, I gave it an 8 out of 10.
I
Um,
fucking love this show
no,
already.
I
I
I
love it so much.
it's I said extremely fun first episode, packed with the perfect amount of backstory and character intros, and the ending sequence was payoff was well worth it. At going through a little bit of
Yeah,
character setup, we'll say this is an easy
yeah.
continuation. Like there's no doubt about it. This is a full watch. It's I I hate to characterize it because I don't think it deserves to be characterized in the quote like villainess genre, but it definitely
Yeah,
gives that vibe. But it's got a different feel to it entirely. Like
so
it doesn't really give all of the cliche stereotypes of like a villainess. It's like a weird twist. It's in the same vein of like the bureaucrat dad one, right? Where
yes.
it's like a
So
weird twist to it.
so here are my notes. I
Okay.
said very funny villainess question mark. Show that seems more like a straight rom-com with some action. I was very impressed by the character writing and motivations, looking forward to more. I've watched all 3 episodes that are out. Adore this show. This show is wonderful. Also, just gonna just tell you now and spoil it, it's not a villainess show.
I
It
like I
is,
said, I
which
don't
is
I
great, which is wonderful.
yeah, it didn't give that impression. I like how she categorized herself or characterized herself as a villainess, like
Yeah.
in the first episode. She's like, if this makes me a villainess, so be it. And I'm like, all right, you go, girl. But
Yep.
no,
No.
I love it. I like the goofy name that they give her in the first episode. I've also seen clips because people are annoying about it, and I know she has other names, and I just laugh every time.
Oh, I've already sent you
No,
clips
I
and
know,
of just
because
I've
you're
watched
one of the
the
bastards.
I will say, the English dub for this show is wonderful. It genuinely every person that has appeared so far has been very good in the English dub that I would, honestly suggest watching it that way.
I
It's wonderful.
I will most likely end up watching it that way because I'm sure my wife is gonna want to watch it, and she prefers, I should say, to watch everything dubbed. So I've also only seen clips of it dubbed, and I feel
Sure.
like it's very fitting.
It
So
is. Yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed it. Now that you got my number 1 wait,
you
Chitose is in the ramen.
that is my number two.
Ah, okay. Yeah, no, that's my number 4, I would say, for the series or season. My notes for it is great presentation, intriguing characters, but what is going to be the overarching plot of the series? Is it about finding yourself slash being genuine? Will it be love triangles everywhere? Still really unsure. Because like they're tasked with bringing a student out of like it's an extended first episode, so it's like 45 minutes, 47 minutes, something like that. This as he categorizes it himself and as other people call him, this man whore, basically,
Man slut.
man slut, sorry, my bad, whoop-de-doo.
Jesus.
I know, I'm slipping here. He's basically tasked with bringing a student who is just a nerd, essentially, back to come back to school. He just doesn't go to school
Eh,
anymore. We find out the motivations as to why he doesn't come back or, like, why he isn't going to school. And it's just like, is this gonna be the entirety of the show, or is it, like, gonna evolve on from this? Because I did read the synopsis after watching the first episode, and I'm like, "Huh, okay then. We'll
Yeah.
see how this goes." So, yeah, I'm intrigued to see where it goes from here, but, like, the first episode, like, it was good. I really enjoyed it. I'm glad it was an extended episode because that first, like, 24 minutes would have just been like I would have dropped it. I probably would have dropped it if it was just 1 episode, like a normal length, because they didn't get to anything really substantial until the second half.
Well, so clarification too for everyone. It says it's 45 minutes. The last 13 minutes are two of the voice actors giving like a tour of an
Oh, I did
area.
forget about that.
It's
You're
so it's
right,
technically
never
like
mind.
32 minutes long. So it's like
So,
slightly longer than normal.
you're right. I completely, like, blocked that out of my memory
Yeah.
because I was like, "I don't really care to watch all of
I
this,
was speed running
unfortunately."
through, so I was like, I have to skip this for now. I might come back to it, but um I while I understand, I get it. I guess I look at this one in the same way that you look at the fragrant flower blooms with dignity, cuz arguably not a lot happens in the first episode other than you just get the two characters coming together and you're like, "Oh, budding romance." Right? But you don't get introduced to like the conflicts, we'll say generically if people haven't watched it yet. That inevitably will ensue, right? So, while yes, there's not a lot, you get the conflict, so to speak, is trying to get this student who's a truant, I guess is the correct term to use for someone who doesn't go to school,
Right.
to go back at the request of their teacher. Not a lot happens. However, I am just so I want to know everything and anything about these characters. I love them. I
Yeah.
think the way that they're portrayed is so confusing. I feel like, to most. Like, I'm just gonna go into my notes because I feel like it captures well. I said an intelligent, charismatic, and pretentious main character who can capture the heart of any girl he comes across, and we're supposed to like this guy 1,000%. While it's a bit odd to root for someone who is slowly building the world's largest harem, his personality and drives is what makes you cheer for him throughout the episode. How he interacts with characters is genuine to a fault, and his hate-worthy nature is outshone by his superhero-like demeanor. I just
Yeah.
I
No, I agree.
It's great to like have a character in this type of series that knows he's making a harem, that knows he's the talk of the town, that goes above and beyond to just be like that type of person and is super genuine about it. Like,
Yeah. I mean, there's a scene where they get new class assignments, and he's like, "I will be the class president or whatever again, like representative again, if no other boy wants to do it." And all the boys are like, "All you." And he's like, "Okay, here's my introduction. I am this person. As some of you all know me as a fuck boy." And I'm like,
yeah,
fair enough. Yeah.
yeah.
No. Okay.
Like, it's
Like
just
he
you got
knows and he wears it like a badge of honor. Like,
yeah.
great, good,
I
as long as you know it.
I love that. I really like the characters that we met so far, not just the girls, also the guys. I just
Yeah,
There's a whole
I agree.
cast of characters that are all extremely unique and have like I want to know what they're getting out of it, right? Clearly there's one character, one of the girls who's like just madly in love and that's kind of just her trait,
Shtick.
which is unfortunate. I'm sure she'll grow even more beyond that, but there's like the equally as popular female version of Chitose. There's the athletic version. There's the like popular athletic girl. There's the athletic guy. There's the super smart guy who's also athletic. There's the super smart girl who's also athletic, and there's the like mysterious girl that he found at the river. That
That
is,
knows who he is, like, on a, like, spiritual level, and you're like,
yeah.
"Ah, okay.
There's just
I
so
like
many.
you."
Yeah, there's so many different layers to this, and it feels like only like we're just at a point where things are gonna start to like become clearer. We're gonna get more and more into characters. I feel this is purely just a character heavy driven series, and I'm all in for it. Um,
Yeah.
the romance side aside, I really want to just know who these people are, and again, what their purpose and stakes are in life, following this fuckboy throughout school. Like it's
Yeah.
it just
You're
it
not wrong.
yeah. I don't know. I'm getting lost in my words now. I really really enjoyed this series.
So, I am curious, if this is your number 2, I have my number 2 left, and you have your number 1.
Yes.
And there's no way I would have ever thought this would be your number 1. Is it Gnosia? Gnosia?
No. You forgot a very very important series that came out this season because it's on a site that we never fucking watch series on, and it's stupid.
Apparently so. What the fuck is your number 1 then?
Sanda.
Oh, fuck, I forgot to put that in my notes. No! No! No, I forgot to put that in here.
You
No, I definitely watched
fool!
it. I
No,
definitely
it's not
watched
in your
it. This
notes, so
is
you
my
didn't watch it. No,
No,
let me take
I'm
over.
doing it
Time to
now.
mute
I'm
Frank.
doing it
Time to
now.
mute Frank because I have the
My
power.
fuck my fiery butthole. I watched this show. I
Gnosia
forgot
can't be
all
your
about it.
second. Among Us, the anime, is your
Well,
second.
now it's number 3. Now it's number 3. No, because they put a fucking great phenomenal twist at the very end of the episode, and I'm like, "Fuck yes. Oh my god.
Whatever.
Hell yeah, I'm in." It's so okay, so let me go
We'll
over
talk about
Gnosia real quick.
Gnosia first. Yeah.
Yeah. Uh, my first note is because they say it within the first 5 minutes. They said the thing. They say like, "Oh, there's a person among us," and I'm like,
God,
"Ah, they
Among
did it! They
Us.
did it!" And then they literally talk
Bang.
about the game Werewolf. They
One
like
Night Ultimate
explain the rules
Werewolf.
of Werewolf. Yeah, they
Oh,
literally go through the rules of Werewolf. They
I
said the
love that.
thing. In all honesty, I love a good mystery, and this is definitely one. It's a good. I'm gonna ruin it a little bit here. Minor spoilers for the series to come, but
Earmuffs.
especially for episode 1. It's a good Among Us X Groundhog Day. Looking forward to seeing what more the series has to offer. Like they straight up do that in the end of episode 1. I'm like, fuck yes, hell
You
yeah.
I'm sorry. I don't want to burst your bubble. Okay, I really don't, because I know you're excited about it, and I know we have someone in our Twitch chat that was also excited about it. What you just described is that Tom Cruise movie, The Day After Tomorrow, which
Yes, and
is I know
love that
people
movie.
love it. I
That
know
movie's
people love
great.
it. I know
That
people
movie's
love it.
great.
I'm good. I'm good.
Fair. I love that
If
movie's
I
great.
wanted to watch Groundhog Day, I'd watch Groundhog Day. If I wanted to watch a New Age Groundhog Day, I just keep hitting rewind on my favorite scene 30 times until I got tired of it. I just there
Yeah.
part of me just doesn't like there are certain series that I don't mind that with. Okay? Like there's certain series where you can do the time travel, like time skip, go reversed, start over again, do over button, whatever you want to call it, and it's okay because it has like that's not the pure hook to it. There's like another element to it, but they do get old, and it seems like sometimes it's a crutch. I get it this one because it's Among Us. When you add that element, it's like,
Among
whoa! But at the same time, it's fucking Among Us the anime. I'm
Oh,
sorry.
its ceiling is at an 8.5. There's no way it gets any better than that.
Yeah.
It only has room to go down. By all means, I 100% understand that. I was not expecting the Groundhog Day twist, and I'm like, "Yes, this has solidified the fact that I am going to enjoy this stupid ass show."
God,
Um, which is yeah, no, it's at the end of the day, it is Among Us the show, but again,
scoring
I am a sucker
rubric.
for fucking mysteries.
Stupid ass
I am
show does not
I am
show
a
up on our
sucker
scoring rubric.
for fuck your ass, okay? I am a sucker for mystery shows. This is a mystery show because Among Us is basically a mystery. Who is the imposter? I fucking love that. And I will say, this is the best other than Sonda, which we'll talk about here shortly. This is the best animated like animation in a series for this season, in my opinion. Like it has the style, it has the animation like flexing there. Like it's despite there's not like really combat scenes, but like
I'm I'm gonna
it
hurt you.
does no, I'm being genuine that the animation in it is actually
So
wonderful.
you're saying Sanda top followed by Nocia?
Yes, 100%.
You're fucking batshit insane.
The animation quality of Nocia is actually very good,
You are
and
batshit
I
insane.
no, watch it. I just just watch episode 1, you will understand. It is genuinely very good because they do the very futuristic vibes well. They do kind of what old tech that they do have well as well. Like, I just trust me, just watch episode 1, you will you don't have to watch episode 2 onward. I will just say just from a pure animation standpoint, it's very good. It is very good animation wise. So please watch it. If nothing else, watch episode 1 just to look at the animation because everything is so stylized in this show that I think that it's got the sauce. It again, it tops out at an 8.5. It can only go down,
If
but
Nocia
I
if Nocia has better if you truly believe that Nocia has better animation than Dust Beyond the End of the World, Kamen Rider, Chitose, even fucking I'll even give it up for Touring After the Apocalypse, other than that weird fucking scene with the gravel. If you think it
no,
has better animation than those, if you truly believe that, how
I would
much
say
what are you
it is
willing to
top
wager
3.
on that? It's top
It is
3?
top 3.
Okay,
Yeah.
because I was gonna say if I come back and it's dog water, your first tattoo is fucking Albedo half naked on your
Oh,
back,
Jesus Christ.
and I'm paying
No,
for
I
it.
can't.
So
It's not Albedo, but I do wanna get a tattoo. We'll figure that out later, but I will get a tattoo, with a wife's approval.
mm, okay.
I guarantee, like, trust me,
All
when I
right,
say
all
that
right, all right, all right, all right, all
the
right, all right.
animation is top notch.
All right.
Let's get into Sonda because Jesus Christ, I can't believe I forgot about this because I
I
watched it
don't know
at
how.
lunch. I watched it at lunch, and by the time I finished it, like, I had to rush back into the office, and that I didn't have time to take notes, and that's why. Um, Holy fucking shit, dude. Yeah, banger first like, I just wrote notes real quick here. Banger first episode, stylistic with a lot more to explore in the world and characters. I cannot wait to watch more. I will say to score it fairly, I did give it a 9. This is the only
Yeah,
9,
I gave it a 9 too. This
so
I this was the other series I. By the way, you might have also forgot to watch Sanda. That's okay. It is on Amazon Prime, which is absolutely fucking stupid. Uh,
Yep.
it's the only anime so far this season that's on Amazon Prime, I believe. So wonderful. But I my jaw was on the floor like from the first scene. Like it started off it, like going 1,000 miles an hour, and it kind of dialed back a little bit in the middle because it just had to. You couldn't keep that pace up, but it finished even crazier than the beginning sequence, which I didn't think could happen. And I'm like, oh my god. But this was the
Yeah.
series I was alluding to earlier when I said like the synopsis. If you didn't read the synopsis, don't read it now because it's better to go in with a mystery, because the synopsis gives away a huge like like massive plot point that they didn't even address in the
Element.
first
Yeah.
episode, which is shocking to me. Like they alluded to something is happening, but we don't really know. Like, oh, we're in a different time period where certain things aren't really practiced anymore. Oh my god, we're seeing snow for the first time in ages. This is really weird. Like you're like, okay, clearly not set in today's day and age. Something transpired. Well, I guess we'll figure out, but there's like a very key element that they just didn't even get to that's directly in the synopsis. So don't read the synopsis, just go in blind. But before you ask, yes, it sounds like Santa because it's about Santa Claus.
Yep.
But holy shit, I didn't think Science Saru could just go
Science
back
Zero
to
always
back.
has this fucking sauce. They are so
But
good at what they do.
going back to back with Dandadan into this, which big props too for Science Saru, top to bottom, for having
Like
for
they haven't done a back-to-back series in forever.
yeah,
Like
no.
other than just like Don to Don, and I think they may have done it this past. I don't know. I'd
I
have to
think they
look
did
it
a
up, but
they
like
did a movie
it's
recently.
rare for them.
Did they do
It's rare for them to do a series back to back, let alone have like just do a two series or multiple series in a year.
did they do
So they did Sonda, Don to Don last season, and then it was Don to Don before that. So they took winter off. They took winter and spring off.
yeah.
They did fall 2024. They did technically summer Garden of Remembrance. I think that's a movie. No, it's a 18-minute original.
Did they do
They did the
the
movie. They did the movie The Colors Within, which
Thank
was
you. I
wonderful.
was trying to say that, but you just kept rambling. Yes, they
Yeah,
did The Colors
but
Within,
then
and that was
The
beautiful.
thing the thing that they did before that was in 2023, which was Scott Pilgrim Takes Off, and then even before that, it was a year before that, it was the Tatami Time Machine Blues.
Where they do
Like,
yeah. These are
they
series that they
legitimately don't do multiple series in a year, let alone back to back.
and these are series that they were the lead on too, because Science Saru, along with a lot of other studios, will like help out on certain like small episodes or like intros or whatever. But
Yeah, they help with minor things here and there, but, like, yeah, Science Center is the primary, like, "Hey, we are doing 99% of this or
yeah,
95%."
but yeah. So going back
So,
from Danadon back like right into Sanda, like big kudos, big props. But again, I harp on this a lot with series that have really unique art styles. They kept the art style from the manga like one for one, which a lot of people probably looked at it and went like, "Ew, it looks kind of grimy. Like it doesn't look well. It like the lines look really like chalky, so to speak. They're not really crisp, defined. Doesn't have that new age polish. Like if you're comparing it to like a Jujutsu Kaisen, it probably looks really, really dog shit. But that's the style, and I love how unique it is. It's true. A lot of people do that. I'm sorry. I'm quick
no,
call out. I know you
like,
chuckle. A lot of people will look at Sanda and be like, a 4-year-old drew that. Like, there's no way a professional and it's like, no.
It's got the super chunky lines for, like, the character borders,
And
like,
I love it.
it's super grimy and it's super great.
You wanna know what it
I
reminds
love
me
it.
of? Honestly,
Hmm.
it reminds me of like a Tim Burton style. It's very much akin to that.
I thought you were gonna, like, relate it back to an anime, and I was gonna say, like, it kinda reminds me Bisco.
Your mic cut out. Sabakui Bisco?
Oh, yeah, it kinda reminds me of, like, a Sabakui Bisco where it's
Eh,
kinda just grimy and, like, liney and not very well polished. It's just it almost feels a little raw there. Like, you still got a little bit of the sketch in there rather than the fine like, polished finish.
kinda. I think it's also the art style and direction that they took it, which was obviously very purposeful, that made it feel much in line with, like, I don't know. I'm just thinking of different Tim Burton stuff, but like Corpse Bride, Frankenweenie,
Yeah.
it's that really kind of eerie texture to
Yeah,
it that like you're like, what, this is there's something off with this. Um, but no, I thoroughly enjoyed this first episode. Like, was
100%.
was
No,
extremely
I'm
impressed. I
on the same page.
Again, knowing a little bit just purely based off of the synopsis and getting a sense for like what is to come, I'm very excited. I wish I could kind of sponge my memory of that to be like totally just out, like in the dark, cuz it like the first episode gives you enough to make you feel like, okay, something's going on. Right?
Yeah,
You have your mystery, you have your rough idea of the current world setting, and then you have your introduction to a chaotic character. Uh, which again, not really a spoiler. It's called Sanda. If you have seen the manga cover at all, or even seen the title card, it is about Santa Claus. But by golly, do
to
they
what
take a
extent,
very
you don't
weird
know.
they take a weird take on Santa Claus. I'll tell you that much. But
Yeah.
I think it's
No,
perfect.
I loved everything about episode 1. I'm looking forward to continuing through the rest of this series. Like, I will say as a whole, I feel like this season of anime is a lot weaker than the rest of this year has been. I think that there aren't as many high highs as there are lows in this season. Like, there's a lot of middling in here that, like, I'm not enthusiastic, but because there really isn't that much more to watch, like, I'm gonna watch it when I would usually, like, not. Like,
Eh.
what's it called? Ah, fuck, I just missed it. Like, Monster the Past the Monster Meet Milady, like, that's normally a show I'd be like, "Ah, yeah,
Oh
like,
damn
I
it.
1 or, like, 3 or so episodes." What?
I I pulled a U. I forgot to mention another show I watched because it was like a
You
week and
son
a
of a
half
bitch.
ago. It's okay. It was probably a 7 or a 7.5. It's
What was it?
the monster wants to eat me. I watched it with my wife. It
Oh,
was good.
yeah, I
Good
still need to
girls
watch that.
Good girls love. It's on Crunchyroll. It's very interesting premise, albeit kind of unsettling to a degree, but it's got an interesting hook to it that I feel like will keep me around. But I think it's gonna get too full of itself quickly, but I'm gonna stick with it for my wife. But
That's fair. Yeah, I that was on my to watch list, I just didn't get to it.
yeah, I so think remembering that one too, and then looking at everything that I've watched, I'm inclined to agree. My only counterpoint though is that I feel like this season, in comparison to the others, is really sullied, and it's a strange thing for me to say, very much sullied by the continuing series. Because I feel like all the continuing series are just like middle of the road.
Yeah, you're
Like
not wrong.
Spy
I mean,
Family.
One Punch Man still does have the potential to, like, really outdo
Yeah, yeah.
itself, but, like, it
And we're
started out kinda just like, "What the fuck is going on?" I have to remember 6 years ago what happened,
because
unless if I'm, like, a One Punch Man sicko,
we're talking on
but yeah.
like looking through the microscope on just the first episode, right? So like we're predicting this season as a whole. Like everything about the episodes,
Yeah,
we're also just are saying it based on the first or the series. We're saying it just based on the first episode. Like,
agreed.
could I foresee my all my 7.5s bumping up to an 8 or higher? Yeah. Could I see them going lower than a 7.5? Probably not. You know, I think they're probably pretty stuck at a 7.5, if not maybe slightly higher, which I would then be more inclined to say this season might even be stronger than like a summer or spring. But I feel like it's definitely the impression that a lot of people are getting, because I've heard the same thing on social media too for this season, is like, oh, it's the weakest of them all so far. And I feel like it's due to the fact that the returning series are just kind of middle of the road. Like, I haven't heard much hype for My Hero Academia, albeit the first episode just came out.
It came out over the weekend, I
Yeah,
think. Actually, I don't know. Hold
but
on, let
like
me look into it. But,
I
like,
haven't
yeah,
heard a lot about that. People have been bitching and moaning about One Punch Man since the trailer. I feel like not a lot of people care about Spy Family anymore because it's just nothing's really happening, you know?
2
Ron
episodes out for My Hero, by the way.
Oh, there you go. I haven't heard shit about it. Like Ranma 1/2, I also don't feel like a lot of people have watched it just because it's the remake, right? There's also the handful of other returning series, like the campfire cooking, I think is returning. You had
Yeah, that's
you had
still on my
one
to watch.
you
Let These Grieving Souls Retire, I
Yep.
still haven't watched. Those 2 are still on my to watch list.
So I
There are still some shows that I have yet to get to. I do, for all intents and purposes, plan on getting there.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't watch, those 2 that we just said. Actually, those mi and My Hero. Yeah, those are the only 3 shows that I did not get to. There was one on our list that I didn't get to because it got delayed, like, we don't know when it's coming out, and that
Mhm.
was, like, a one-episode try, and it was the, Otherworldly Munchkin, let's speedrun the dungeon with only 1 HP.
So I'm looking back at summer, and granted, I didn't finish a ton, I should say. I did watch a lot of first episodes, but I didn't finish a ton. But like in the top of mine were My Dress Up Darling season 2, Gachi which had constant like advertisements at like every convention leading up to it, even after it was airing.
Yeah.
Secrets of the Silent Witch, which was just definitely like in my sleeper role. I know you had it on your list from the beginning because you were reading it,
Oh,
but
I
yeah,
told everybody, I was like, "This is the show. This
Da-
has the sauce." I hate using that phrase, but fuck, it did.
Dandadan season 2, Summer Hikaru died, which had a lot
Yeah.
of hype too already. Like there was a lot of shows that like had traction leading into the series or were continuing with like high anticipation.
Yeah,
Fall,
I had 9 shows that were 8 and above,
yeah,
as a final rating. Like, that's wonderful, and, like, I only had a handful that were below that.
but fall based
Granted,
on
I
our
had a lot.
yeah,
Yeah.
but based on our current rankings for the fall returning series, they don't match compared to like Sanda, Chitose, Dust Beyond the End of the World, May I Ask for One More Thing, Common Rider, right? Like they're
Yeah.
all like middle of the pack. So I think that's the discrepancy right now. And again, those are probably going to get higher by a significant margin. Probably not. Like honestly, I'm gonna you can put a stamp on it right now. I'll probably have no returning series in my top 5 by the end of the season.
There
For the
might be room.
for the handful that I'm watching, because I'm not watching a bunch. For the handful that I'm watching,
Right.
and again, full disclosure, I'm so far behind on My Hero. It's broken me too many times and disappointed that I'm just like, you know what, I will eventually catch up once it's all out. I don't really care right now. Not at the top of my list. So I know people are going to be like, My
By the
Hero
way,
is going to be up there for sure if it's not your number one. Bullcrap.
I I never watched or finished the season before. Like, I still have 4 episodes now because I watched the
I
5th to last episode. Dude, the dub for My Hero was wild. There is a character in there that just, like, they come in for a scene and they just start dropping like, Gen X or Gen Z slang, and I'm like, "What
Slay.
in the fuck is going on? What did I just listen to in my ear holes? Please bleach them." Like, that was just awful.
Yeah, I think the frustrate maybe not frustration is the best word, but I think the displeasure that a lot of people are having in this season is that there's not a lot of series that are rolling in that have the hype, I guess for lack of a better term,
Yeah.
or just knowledge base, right? That much
Yeah,
of the
this is a
summer or
very
spring had.
it's a very low key season, but, like, there's still some sleepers. Like, I love Touring After the Apocalypse. I have all 5 or 6 5 volumes. Um,
Yeah, I mean,
that shows that series is wonderful. I'm really looking forward to that, but, like, yeah, like, it doesn't have that brand,
I
name, like, this is the new that you should be looking forward
th-
to that's gonna have stopping power for the next 5 to 10 years or whatever.
yeah.
So
Like
I get it from that perspective, but I will say you and I were on the same page. I feel like this summer, for the most part, outside of maybe one or two shows. But
for the fall, you mean?
yeah, sorry for the
Yeah.
fall. You're right. My brain is all over the place. But yeah, no, I think you and I are kind of similar page, despite the fact that we watched different shows. Like I think that you would be on the same page as I, except for Nocia. Nocia is the only one that I'm like, I think you can appreciate the animation, but I don't think you'll like the show,
All
which is
right.
fine. I'm not expecting you to, but I do think you will appreciate the animation.
Now get your
And with that,
tattoo idea ready because ain't no way that thing is gonna be better in animation than in the top three.
I had the perfect segue out of
You're
here,
gonna
and then
have the
here you are just
worst
fucking
you're gonna have
ruining
the
it. I
worst
begrudge
face tattoo ever. It's right smack dab in the middle.
and thank you to the worst fan base ever for making it this
Oh no!
far.
Wait, what? Worst fan
You
base?
ruined you ruined my fucking outro, and you were
You
just like, "Ah."
you do it randomly. In fairness, like you land them by like 10% of the time. I think your success rate is you're hitting free throws
I'm a solid
at a
40%,
10%.
okay?
No,
I'm
that
a
is
solid
that
40%.
is if you listen through 40% of this episode, we greatly appreciate it. There you
The
go. How about that?
40% of you, we greatly appreciate you making it through this episode. Thank you so much. We will be back next week with a brand new episode. But if you want more of us, we are posting infrequently, trying to post a little bit more frequently on social medias. You can follow us there at Baka&Co Podcast, wherever you get your short form content feeds. But until next time, Spark Triumph. We'll see you then.